What's up, Workforce? Brian here, and in today's guide we're going to be diving into the Armor 2.0 system and really talking about your gear and your build. This guide hopes to answer the following questions. How do I upgrade my gear? What are my stat rolls? How do I know if a piece of gear is even good or not? How do I get mods? How do I equip those mods? What mods should I be using? How do I even know what mods are out there? What am I specifically missing? How do I get ascendant shards to obviously help upgrade my gear? And obviously we're going to be showing off a test Titan build as a part of this, because that pretty much is what this is all about. It's about building your Guardian the way that you want to play. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the most devastating PvP build I've ever made before, but this is going to be an example of how you can really devastate in the Crucible if you're interested in, and that's going to be kind of the overall focus of this video. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in and answer the question that's on everybody's mind that I keep getting asked, that I keep seeing, is that how do I know what mods do I have? What's out there that I haven't collected? Okay, so here we are, we're on Destiny Sets, and I'll include a link in the description below if you guys want to just jump right to this page. This is the mods that exist right now as of Shadowkeep, and you can see all of them out there. Mods are a permanent unlock. They're not consumable. So once you have them and you're good to go. You can choose to link this with your account, and thus it's going to show you what you've collected as well as what you have remaining to collect. You can see here, despite all of my playtime, I still have a lot of mods that I'm looking for, namely right now Shotgun Scavenger. Had a hard time saying that for some reason, and that is a mod that I'm really on the hunt for. So we're going to talk about how you get these mods, what kind of content they're going to drop from, and that way you can continue to complete out your collection. Obviously this is a little bit of RNG with some exceptions. So if I take you into the tower, I'm going to run you over here to the gunsmith Banshee. You want to talk to this guy. He's going to have different mods for sale for you. You're just going to go check it out. You can see that I've already acquired these two mods, and they require mod components. Mod components are going to be just materials that drop by just breaking down your gear. You're also going to save up these gunsmith materials that you've seen by breaking down that gear, which is going to increase your reputation, which ultimately will also have the ability to unlock different mods as well. So these are always going to be set, so be sure to be checking in with him daily. You can also see various other currencies exchanged, as well as how you get more upgrade modules, enhancement prisms, and your ascendant shards. So you can see here you need 10 of the enhancement prisms, which require cores. Ultimately, there's a lot of materials here that use to be grinded and to upgrade. So let's go ahead and dive into our Armor 2.0 system now and show it off. So here you can see here is my test Titan build. I'm saying test because I'm a nut and I'm running 2 shotguns right now just for the fun of it. If you look here at my Wishbringer, I have been leveling it up, and I am a couple of enhancement cores away from being able to have this masterworked, which is going to overall increase the range, just making this an overall better gun to be used. I am currently using a targeting adjuster mod, but I can go and have backup increased magazine, I can have reduces recoil, I can have the freehand grip, and you can see here different mods. Like if I go here, you can see how that changes from my magazine 7 to 8 and so on and so forth. So you'll see sometimes that it's going to change it over here in the right hand side of the screen. So pay attention to what mods you've got and how you're rocking and rolling with them. So I'm just going to have better target acquisition because I need it. I am not going to say I'm the best shotgunner out there. That's actually specifically why I'm doing this build, ultimately to help improve my shotgun game in the Crucible. First, we're going to talk about our stats. You've got mobility. You can see here I'm at 100 of 100. Stat-wise, this gives me a 40% base increase of speed. As a Titan, with that speed and that melee, that's going to be an instant kill shoulder charge, because if I go here to my Striker Titan, you're going to see your various paths. And now I'm rocking Seismic Strike, so after sprinting for a short time, aka I want that mobility as fast as I can so I can also get my speed up as quickly as possible, I can sit here and have that Arc Explosion, which is going to be that one-shot kill, making it very devastating. I'm building this character as a up-in-your-face character. Ultimately, up in your face, I'm going to want to see if I cannot increase my resilience, which is going to be that shield capacity, something you're not going to ultimately feel that much while playing the game. You will feel mobility, you will feel recovery, and then you probably are going to feel intellect. Those are probably the 3 stats that you're going to feel in your moment-to-moment, your minute-to-minute gameplay within Destiny, whether you're doing PvE or PvP. But regardless, I'm going to see if I can't get my resilience up a little bit. I'm going to see if I can't get my recovery up a little bit. Now you can see here resilience is at a 29. this is pointless to me. 29 is the same as a 20 or a 21. So having something at the 1 to the 9 range isn't really helping you out at all. You want to be able to hit those tiers to actually get that increase. Well, how can I do that? Well, that all comes down to masterworking. So let's talk about the stats. Like on this piece of gear right here, you can see I have a total of 63 stats on this piece. Ranging stat-wise, you can see stuff in the 40s, you can see stuff in the 50s, and stuff in the 60s. 60s is really good, and you're going to find gear that's going to roll with those kind of random stats from doing like Nightfall, Raid. Different high-end activities are going to have better stat rolls that are going to drop on your gear. So keep that in mind as you continue to play the game. So look at that total score. That's going to be something that you need to value more so than your power, because you can always infuse your power from other gear. Look at that total score and see if it actually relates to the stats that you want. Then what you want to do is press Y or your triangle button, and here is where you're going to upgrade your armor. You can see I've got 2 enhancement cores. It's going to take 1 to give it 1 more power. Once you get all the way to 10, and this is going to keep increasing and eventually use like things like ascendant shards, etc., you're going to have that as a masterwork, which is going to give you +2 stats to each of your mobility, resilience, recovery, discipline, intellect, and strength. That is so powerful because that's +12 overall. That would take this from 63 to a 75, just like that. And all of a sudden now I've got one of the highest stat rated pieces of gear that I have at least seen in the game. So for your mods, it's easy to equip, but you're going to see the point score here, which is going to recommend how much energy is needed. See, if I'm at 3, it's going to work just fine. 4, it shows red because I need 1 more slot for that to work. So here I could actually equip enhanced recovery if I had 1 more stat point, and that's 1 more. So I can just hold this, it's going to upgrade, and now I've got that enhanced stat point, and now I can put my recovery on, which I'm going to fill as well. And then if I jump back to my main screen, now you can see my recovery is at a tier 3, but I have unfortunately am at a 91, so I'm no longer at that level. I'm going to keep rocking the mobility for now, and I just wanted to show you guys how that works. Obviously, equipping a mod is going to cost Glimmer. Glimmer is going to be stuff that you get from everything, breaking down things, equipping things. Just note that you can easily burn through a lot of Glimmer if you're not careful, especially if you keep switching back and forth between the different stats themselves. Continuing on our stat journey, we have our discipline, which is your grenade timing. You have, again, intellect, which is going to be your super timing. So getting that up 1 more tier is going to reduce it from 5 minutes and 43 seconds to 5 minutes. Also doing activities is going to help feed that meter. Picking up orbs of light is going to feed that meter, so it's going to actually make it much faster. But getting your intellect as high as possible is going to make it to where you can super more often. And then finally, you can see my strength here, which is my melee cooldown, is right now at 51 seconds. Getting it up to a tier 7 is at 45. And so on and so forth. Equipping those mods is easily going to allow me to focus in on one specific stat. And you can see that I've equipped mobility on each of my pieces of gear here. So as far as it goes, you can see lots of high stat rolls on the pieces of gear that I've gotten for my Titan, so I'm very lucky. And so this is where it's going to get fun. Now, if you look here at my arms piece, I've got 2 exotics that I can kind of filter in and switch between. I've got ACDO feedback fence, and I've got Synthoceps. So if I look at the specific perk here for the feedback fence, I have this melee kills build energy, being struck by a melee attack, reducing incoming damage and unleashing the energy in a devastating explosion. Meaning if they hit me back, chances are they're not going to make it. It makes me all the more deadly, and it really adds to the overall enjoyment of the build that I'm going, which is that up close and personal build. The other option here that I have is I've got my Synthoceps, and these are also melee as well. So this is going to increase my melee lunge range. It's going to improve my melee and super damage when I'm surrounded. So if there's a bunch of people out there, maybe I want to rock this one because it's going to make me hit harder overall. So now that we've covered how you upgrade your gear, what stats you need to be looking for, how you kind of can tailor exotics to fit that build itself, let's talk about ascendant shards, because we saw how we got those from the gunsmith. However, if you jump into either the raid or like the nightfall, the ordeal, or essentially the higher level nightfall, there is going to be a chance for getting those to drop from that content as well. Note that the harder the difficulty of the content, both it's going to have an increase for the gear and the stats, especially the stat rolls that come with it, but also for the materials that you're going to be grinding for. The game's going to feed those to you as well. Like the season pass is also going to reward you with upgrade materials, namely your enhancement cores and your ascendant shards and more. So just keep in mind that like at 80 and 85, that's where you're going to see those come from the season pass. So it's going to take a lot of grinding. Regardless, if you're doing the high-end activities, you can end up feeding yourself plenty of high-end upgrade materials, which will just add overall to your build. It's just a matter of the amount of time that you can put into this game for building out your character the way that you want to build it out. Lastly, as a final note to the overall build that I have here as my Titan, I do want to say that we did jump into the weapons and the various kind of stats and perks in another video. I'll include a link in the description for you. And I necessarily wouldn't recommend rocking dual shotguns. This is a risky thing. This is me just testing it out and being a little bit ridiculous, but this is where shotgun perks are going to come into play. You can see here, field prep is going to be that increased ammo reserves, faster reloading, moving targets better for speed acquisition while aiming and moving and things like that. Here I got opening shot, targeting adjuster, and slide shot. But there are many other perks that you can really kind of help to build it out. Obviously perks in these weapons being random rolled, you might have a while until you get that perfect god roll. I haven't got that myself, but to highlight this, if I look here at my mobility mod and my feat, I have the fusion rifle scavenger. I want shotgun scavenger because that means I'm going to pick up more shotgun ammo. Right now I get bonus ammo for a fusion rifle, not really helping me out because I'm not rocking a fusion rifle, but maybe I should just to give me some situation. So that would be me just going here and seeing if I have a fusion rifle, which I do, and equipping that so that way I can keep feeding myself some ammo for this specific build. And that's just really how it works. Now ultimately, once I can get shotgun ammo, that's going to be a huge benefit. It might be more advantageous for me to rock a pulse rifle to give myself a little bit of range, because here on my helmet I've got pulse rifle targeting as a mod that I've got equipped. So again, I want to finalize all of this with looking at this Destiny sets for all the mods that you have available. This is going to give you the ability to kind of see what's out there, see what might end up helping build your specific Guardian the way that you want. We've got a lot of ammo finders, which you can see here. They've got it for pretty much everything. The ammo scavengers is here as well, and I haven't gotten many of those. But down here under just general mods, I've gotten quite a few, and there's still plenty to collect. So you can click on it. It's going to show you perks and additional information on this site, but they're still building this tool out because obviously all this information is new. And if you're not aware, the various light green or teal green are your seasonal artifacts, which do like mirror things or mods that are currently in the game, but they usually do it at a cheaper cost. And if you don't know how to get your seasonal mods, once you're level 7 on the season, you're going to unlock your artifact, and here is where you're going to be able to use it and unlock the different mods. And you can see like heavy finisher, oppressive darkness, the arc battery. I don't have enough yet for that, but as you fill out this bar, you're going to unlock these mods, and you can also reset your artifact for a lot of glimmer in that case. So just keep in mind that it's okay to make mistakes here. You're going to unlock these mods, you're going to be able to equip them and go forward and conquer from there. And then this thing is just going to keep getting power for you, and thus allowing you to power up your Guardian even more from there. So with all of that being said, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Let's have that conversation. I'm here to help if you got any other further questions regarding the Armor 2.0, upgrading your gear, how you can build some crazy builds. Again, like looking at the stats, like 40% movement speed's amazing. If I'm able to boost up my strength as well, or my recovery, or even my intellect, that's going to ultimately just change the game for me. It's going to change the flow of battle and make me even more competitive, both in PvE and PvP content. So anyway, guys, for Work to Game, my name's Brian. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.